Want to go faster at HYROX? Here's how I went from 1 hour 30 in Birmingham to 10 weeks later going 15 minutes faster in Manchester. So what did I do differently this time? Firstly, what we do ahead of our race can be as important as what we do during it. And at HYROX Manchester, I ensured I thoroughly warmed up. At the start line, as that 3, 2, 1 went, being ready and just bolting out and focusing on what was in front of me. On the runs, I really wanted to start steady. I know that it's later in the race that I can look to overtake on laps. Heading into the ski station, I came in second from my wave, leaving fourth. Playing to my strengths, I knew I didn't want to overexert myself on the ski erg, as in previous practice I'd done this. This had a real impact on me later in the race. Overall, I came in at just 17 seconds faster than in Birmingham. Then out onto the second 1 kilometer split, really looking to maintain and keep a reasonably fast pace here, and into the second station, which was the sled push. Now, a lesson I'd taken from practice and previous HYROXes is the importance of taking a break during each of the individual lengths. So the first 12 meter length I completed unbroken, and then the second, third and fourth, at each of these I would pause at the halfway point, give myself an extra few seconds to recover. Overall, this led to a 2.5 minute reduction in my sled push time at just over 2 minutes 38 versus the 5:18 I'd completed in Birmingham. Back out onto the next 1 kilometer. Something I was looking to deliver in this race was a consistent kilometer split under the 5 minutes, and managed this on each of the 1 kilometer splits bar one. Into the Sledge pull. Now here, in my training leading up to here, I've been really working on building the strength in the back muscles, and the way that I'd combine the two different techniques of the initial getting the tension out of the rope and then using the lean and step back technique for the first 2 to 3 meters of each of the 12.5 meter lengths, and then adjusting to the hand over hand technique with a pop back from the hips, completing that for each of the 4 lengths. Overall, this resulted in a 3:56 time for this, which was the 281st fastest of the day. This halved my previous time in Birmingham, allowing me to go 4 minutes faster than the 5:55 I completed there. Then out onto the next run, and at 4:54 I was pretty happy with that. Heading in to the burpee broad jumps, I was starting to feel this now. I needed to take a moment before I got going on those. My real aim through the burpees was to take the time I needed on this station, to not overly rush it, and to ensure I was getting adequate oxygen around the body. Knowing that the first half of the race is what I find really difficult, I'd simulated that first 40 to 50% of the race consistently once every 2 weeks in the build-up. This was really to get my body used to the quick switch between the sled strength, the cardio running, ski and burpees. This really started to come together in this race. I was able to go 1 minute faster on the burpee broad jumps at 4 minute 44. Then back out onto the run, and at 4 minutes 40, I'm pretty pleased for that as my 5th 1 kilometer split. As I hit the rower, I really wanted to take the brakes off, applying what I'd been working on in my training. I managed to complete the rower at 4 minutes 17, which was the 120th fastest time at this station on the day. Secondly, it's worth noting that a lot of HYROX is lower body focus, so something which I allowed myself to do on the rower was to really let the upper body take the latter section of the pulse, which really paid off with that fast time. Now, having gone pretty hard on the rower, it's maybe not surprising that the next 1 kilometer was the slowest at a 5:02. Heading into the farmer's carry, which has consistently been one of the fastest stations I've completed. Wanted to go hard and fast here, and 1:38 Managed to knock 10 seconds off previous time for this, coming in at the 159th fastest of the day. When training for kettlebell farmer's carry, I recommend to everybody to really work on your grip strength, and a exercise you can use for this, which is finding a pull-up bar and essentially practice hanging from that for 60 seconds and then repeating that for several. This will really help your grip strength, which will transfer into a fast farmer's carry. Out of the carry, I knew I was heading into the final 2-kilometer runs, and here I really wanted to maintain my speed and also try and pick up the pace, and I was pretty happy with the 4:37. Heading into the sandbag lunges, my real approach here was slow and steady. I always tend to find that I get cramps on this station, but taking it slow and steady, managed to complete the station in 4:38, which was 30 seconds faster than Birmingham. So something that I looked to complete throughout the race was keeping moving all of the time in the rock zone. By keeping moving in the rock zones, I reduced my time there by 2 minutes. And then looking at the runs in the round, I managed to save 4 minutes. Heading into the wall balls, having put a lot out there, I was pretty fatigued. I needed to really catch my breath and make sure I was breaking this up into manageable chunks. I started with 10s, working up to 20s, and then managed to complete this station in just faster than 30 seconds from previously. Crossing the finish line at 1 hour 15, this had given me an overall age group ranking improvement of over 80 places from 127th to 49. Loads more HYROX tips available up here and down here.
Don't forget to subscribe!